The clock showed 8 o'clock. That means it was time to get back to work. Luckily, I made it there quickly. The mall was close to my dorm. Since I was a student, I never really expected to land a decent or a prestigious job. What I was studying and what my name was doesn't matter. I worked as a sales assistant in a large shopping mall. The pay wasn't great, but for a student, it was enough. Especially if you ignore that fact that I barely slept. Balancing work and classes did that to you. Temporary, I thought, as the elevator carried me up to the 3rd floor. When the door opened, I headed straight to my workplace, a clothing store. I checked the time. It was 8:03 in the morning. 3 minutes late, my coworker Ruslan said with a grin. Come on, that's basically on time, I replied, smiling back. I clicked on my name badge and got to work. The day went by fast, too fast. Customers just kept coming. There were only 3 of us on a shift, me, Ruslan, and Nastya. They were reliable, so somehow we managed. Hey, can you grab this jacket? Nastya called out, holding one up. We are out of this size here. Check the stockroom, please. Yeah, I responded. She shouted the size after me, and I headed to the storage area. I opened the door. The stockroom was in the staff-only section. To get there, you had to go down a staircase inside the room. I stepped in and started descending. That's when I noticed something was wrong. Instead of stockroom door, there was another staircase. I blinked, rubbed my eyes. Nothing changed. Fine, I thought, I'll go down again. The same scene, the same steps, leading further down. Maybe the lack of sleep was finally catching up with me, or maybe the building had somehow rearranged itself overnight. I kept going. 4 floors, maybe more. What the hell is this? I muttered. There was no point in continuing. I turned around and started climbing back up. I needed to ask the others what was going on. I reached the top and tried the door. It wouldn't open. What? Did someone lock this? Hey, open the door! This isn't funny! I shouted, pulling on the handle. It's really not funny, I whispered. I took out my phone and tried calling someone. No signal. You got to be kidding me. What is happening? I decided to wait by the door. If they noticed I'd been gone too long, maybe they're coming looking. But they didn't. I must have sat there for about 20 minutes. No one came. I tried the door again, even tried forcing it. Nothing. Did I seriously end up in some kind of anomaly? That's a bullcrap. Still, doing nothing felt like the worst possible option. So I went down, floor after floor. I started counting. 8, 9, 10. The staircase never ended. Then I noticed the light. It was fading. The further down I went, the faster the darkness swallowed everything around me. I stopped and tried going back up. It didn't help. The darkness stayed. Damn it! Am I dreaming? This can't be real. I went down again, 16 floors, more. By then, the darkness had completely taken over. Thank God I always carried a small flashlight. My phone battery was trash, so I never relied on it for light. Please don't die, I thought, switching it on. Not before I find a way out. I didn't lose hope. I kept believing that on some floor I would see a door that would lead me out of here. Otherwise, I would start losing my mind. I passed the 23rd floor. All that surrounded me were concert halls and those cursed steps. My legs were exhausted. I needed to rest. I sat down on a cold floor and leaned against the wall. just for a moment. Where did I end up? How do I get out of here? With those thoughts, my eyes slowly closed, and I drifted off for a short while. I woke up abruptly. There were sounds above me. I listened closely. It sounded like footsteps, and something else mixed in with them. I couldn't even tell what the sound was. Then it hit me. The footsteps were getting closer. Someone was coming down the stairs. Maybe it was another person, someone like me trapped in this strange anomaly. But at the same time, something felt terribly wrong. A feeling deep inside told me I had to get out of here. Whoever was walking up there was not going to help me. I jumped to my feet. The steps were getting closer. I listened again and realized whoever it was, they were right above me. One floor higher, coming straight down. Then for a few seconds, the footsteps stopped. I didn't understand why. And then suddenly, whoever it was started running toward me. My survival instinct kicked in instantly. I turned and ran from whatever was chasing me. I pointed the flashlight forward. I didn't even think about looking back. I flew past the 24th floor, then the 25th, the 26th. Whoever was behind me didn't fall behind. My heart was pounding wildly. By the time I passed the 33rd floor, I heard the running behind me start to fade. Then it stopped completely. I froze for a second, listening. It sounded like it was going back up. Did it change its mind? I hoped so. One thing was clear now. I couldn't go up anymore. I had no idea who or what was roaming there, and I didn't want to find out how our meeting would have ended. And the most terrifying part, how did it even get there? The 37th floor was behind me. I was hungry, thirsty. I had no idea how much farther down I'd have to go. This endless stairwell never ended. Despair started creeping in. I sat down again to rest. Voices began to sound in my head. One kept telling me there was no way out, that I was doomed to stay here until I died. The other insisted I had to keep going, that if I moved forward, I would escape. Both of them were driving me insane. "Shut up!" I shouted out loud. They went quiet. I stood up and kept moving. The 45th floor. I was desperately thirsty. I noticed drops of water leaking from the rotten ceiling. I tilted my head back and let them fall into my mouth. The taste was awful, but it was better than nothing. The voices started arguing again. "I told you to shut up!" They listened. What was that? The sound came from below. "Hey, who's there?" I shined my flashlight down the stairs, and for a split second saw a shadow running downward. "Hey, stop!" I rushed after it, but whoever it was, they were fast. I couldn't catch up. "Stop! I need help! Please!" I failed to reach them, and it was completely out of breath. I leaned against the wall, trying to breathe. Then I heard slow footsteps again, this time above me. Was it the same thing again? Surprisingly, it didn't care about me at all. It just kept going up. The 85th floor. My stomach kept growling. I hadn't eaten anything since morning. Damn it, where is the exit? My vision blurred, but I kept walking, like a zombie. I had almost forgotten why I was still going down. Children's laughter echoed from a floor below. I went down toward it, but they immediately ran away. I didn't even have time to shine the flashlight on them. The flashlight started flickering. I smacked it a couple of times with my palm. It helped, for now. I had no idea how much longer it would last. I wondered what time it was now, but my phone was dead. What choice did I have? Only to keep going down. The 100th floor had already passed. 20 floors ago. The voices wouldn't shut up, no matter how much I begged them to. They were so loud. I think I don't remember what day is it anymore. Monday, Tuesday, what year is it now? Does it even matter? I vaguely remember that counting floors used to feel important. I think I stopped doing that after the 125th. Children kept running past me. Sometimes they went up, sometimes they rushed down just as fast. I punched the cold wall. When blood started flowing from my hand, I used it to write words on the wall. Unfortunately, there was only enough blood for one small word. Food. God, I was so hungry. Down and down. What floor is this now? Who cares? The flashlight finally died. The last source of light disappeared. I threw it away. It was useless anyway. I kept going lower and lower, but without light, I stumbled and fell. The pain was unbearable. I felt blood running down my forehead. Then I heard a mocking chuckle behind me and slow footsteps descending the stairs. Home. I used to have a home once. But where is it now? I smiled. I couldn't see myself, but I was sure I looked like a complete idiot. I crawled into a corner. I don't want to go anywhere anymore. I don't want to. Let the voices say whatever they want. I can't do it anymore. I have no strength, no desire. Someone kept passing by me from time to time. In the pitch-black darkness, I couldn't tell who they were. Only silhouettes flashed before my eyes. My legs hurt terribly. I couldn't even move them anymore. Drops from the ceiling kept falling onto my forehead. Then, in the darkness, I saw two bright white lights. They were moving upward. They stopped for a second and looked straight at me, as if studying me. "What do you want?" I asked. There was no answer. The lights continued moving up. Yeah, get lost. The voices in my head didn't stop. Fine. I was too tired to argue with them anymore. I wonder, will they ever find my body? And will some other madman dare to go into that storage area one day and open that door?